All right, here we are with Ravenloft, the conspiracy at Krezk. It is March 2018. I am Devin, the GM, and to my left we have X playing Y.
Tyler playing Phineas.
Kevin playing Asher.
And Peter Jackass.
All right, guys. So let's go over what happened last session. Who would like to start?
We went into the Nightmare Realm.
Yes.
A world of dreams that was a series of deep underground caverns, armed only with our wits and lanterns.
And guns.
And guns. Also armed with guns, but mostly with wits and lanterns. So we all awoke as we expected, and met up, and we found a circle in the first cavern with an old disused fire in it that when we lit, people came up out of the ground and started building a shadow camp around there, which then became our base camp for our explorations.
Yeah, they were basically just NPCs to help us along. So we explored the caverns and nearly got killed a few times. Found more lanterns.
We went and found a giant statue, Gilgamesh.
Oh, right. Fucking Gilgamesh. I forgot about it.
Made a great bargain with him to free him in exchange for not dying.
I'm sure we'll really get on that.
You made an oath. An oath. I dub the Oathbreaker.
Oh no.
Doesn't count in the Shadow World.
Welcome to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. You lost to Duel Monsters. Anyways,
we eventually did find Delisnia in the whale torture room.
And we found another Delisnia, but that one wasn't friendly.
Yeah, we murdered their family member.
yeah, so we can start with you guys being back at the Ember Camp. Or if anyone wants to play a fun Savage Worlds card they drew to get the big loot treasure wad, they can do that too. It's all up for on the table.
Huzzah.
If you do, you can. If you don't want to, we'll just start at the Ember Camp.
No, sure. I will play my Savage Rifts card, Windfall, to gain all of the treasure in this area.
Nice. All right, Whale Torture Room. As you so elegantly put it. All right, the vampire's chest cavity is full of treasure. Specifically, its heart and other organs have calcified into precious gems, like black opal and stuff.
Okay. Precious vampire organ gem.
Precious guts.
Super precious guts. There was an actual pirate's bounty in one of the ships. Remember, there's storms going by, so you guys have to run in and out. That was full of silver like coins and iron bars.
Okay.
And other than that, it looks like no, that's about it. The organs are super valuable, and a treasure chest in the pirate ship.
Well, it looks like I no longer have 3 silver pieces to rub together.
I've got some iron bars to trade with those mushroom people. Because they wanted iron.
Let's pop that chest open.
Well, let's hug it close and wake up.
Hug it close.
We found what we came here to find.
Loot.
With treasure? Yeah, that'll really keep us safe.
So you got 2 lungs, his heart, and what's another organ? His brain.
Spleen.
His brain.
So 2 lungs, heart, and brain.
Yep. If you want money stats, the lungs are worth 1,000 silver each.
Fuck.
And the brain and the what other organ?
Heart.
the heart are worth. The brain is worth 500, and the heart is technically priceless because it's still on. It's burning. It's on fire. But it's made of like gems.
Can't sell something that's on fire.
You can't sell anything that's on fire. That's not how That's not how trade works.
So I mean, we've got an infinite lantern now. Made of
It doesn't give off a lot of light, but that fire is super useful.
Cool.
It burns very hot. It melts metal around it.
Yeah.
How are
It
we
even
picking
melts
it up?
vampires.
Are we carrying it anywhere?
We're carrying it inside of the vampire. Obviously.
Yeah. Oh my god! What you're gonna make yourself a vampire leather bag for it?
I'm not a psychopath. I swear an oath.
I swore an oath not to be a psychopath.
Not this game.
A perfect Peter character. I swore an oath not to be a psychopath.
Not to be greedy. To give away all my worldly possessions.
The opposite of Ian. I swore an oath.
I mean, Ian would swear any oath given, so like...
I think we do have a logistics problem with how we're going to get this heart around.
You could probably wrap it in chains and it'll be fine. It's just over time it's going to start melting it, so you'll just have to replace the chains.
Seems like a solution.
Break these chains of love.
Okay.
It's about the size of a child's fist.
That's kind of small. Is he like a Grinch or something?
Yeah, he's all shriveled up. He's all fossilized.
I mean, if he was drinking all the whale blood or something.
He wasn't drinking that whale's blood.
Why not?
That whale was an obstacle and on the ceiling and throwing harpoons at him.
That'd be a
Infinite
combat.
blood.
No. No.
So,
No, bro.
should we tap our heels together 3 times?
Let's ask the Deliznia, maybe.
Yeah, let's speak with him.
You guys, we're going to scene swipe to the Ember Camp.
Hmm.
All right? You guys are going to take your treasure as per the card and go back to camp.
Okay.
Yep, that little community is there. There are the fires going everywhere, giving off that low orange light. It's warm here. You can tell that food is being cooked, like mollusks and like cave critters that have been caught under rocks and in crevices and stuff. Looks like someone's cooking food now in one of those tents.
Cool.
And yeah, one of the you and the Deliznias kind of just head back to camp and plop yourselves down near an empty tent. Oh, that was harrowing.
Yeah, so can you explain what's going on here? Because we've been following you and now we're here.
Who are you? You really killed that vampire.
Yeah.
That brief summation didn't explain everything to you?
We're from Krezk.
Oh, locals.
Yeah. We figured that...
Look, sir, droids.
Are you in Krezk right now?
No, we're underground.
No, but
Where did you fall asleep?
you're awake, but where'd you fall asleep?
Oh, I fell in the crack.
Ah, that explains it.
Oh.
Okay, so we're all at the monastery. Technically. So, you seem to know how these dream realms work, so how? Or at least you were studying them, you had those maps. And everything.
I'm Girard.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all. What are your names?
Phineas.
Phineas,
Asher.
Asher,
Jack?
Jack. Okay, yeah. Oh wait, you're the doctor in Krezk.
Yes.
And you're the fellow that folks told me to stay away from.
That does
That
sound...
couldn't have been me.
There's some ungodly fellow with his machines, his metal.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, that's...
All right. I might have got the pronunciation wrong. The names are a little strange here.
What are you doing in Krezk? Don't often get Deliznias out here.
His sister, by the way, Priscilla, she is drinking from her flask and relaxing because a vampire attack just happened. She's gargling with holy water just in case.
Because we were digging around in his gore.
Yeah.
Pulling out treasure.
Yeah, pulling out
With
treasure.
open wounds.
Wait, what was the question?
What are you doing in Krezk?
I,
No spider?
Nice. I had come here, it was a personal project. I was trying to trace our family lineage, the Delisnias. Yeah, see, I'm part of a noble family called the Delisnias, and our lineage begins in the state of Barovia, the village of Barovia specifically. We used to be landholders and people who held court with the von Zaroviches and the other main families. So I was here doing personal information gathering about my heraldry and history and, culture.
Huh.
And that took you to the mine?
A little. See, I had funding, but not really any inroads in Barovia. The Barovian people are very pleasant, he says, realizing that you're Barovians. But they could be a little insular. So the mining company, the merchants, offered to sponsor me and help me, gather information and check out the local kind of areas and geography and, archives in exchange for me doing some work for them. I'm a bit of an amateur geologist. My sister, she does spelunking and whatnot, but I know a bit about geology, caves, mining, striation. I do a bit of bookkeeping for for our family, so it seemed like a nice kind of side job.
What specifically were you doing for them?
There was a mine in Krezk they wanted me to prospect.
All right.
Things got a little strange from there. I started seeing, because the mine had some of my family's, holdings in it. The property probably changed hands since. But it put me on the right direction, and I was able to find my way here and learn about my ancestor Leo, who we recently met.
So I suppose you had some falling out with your ancestor.
Oh, no, I found out my theories were wrong, and he was definitely the monster history makes him out to be. We were probably in the wrong.
Yes. I think we found this. I think we found the same information.
Yeah, well, that's what theories are like in academia. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
Yeah. So that still doesn't explain how did you know about this dream realm and you had those maps from someone?
I made them. That was clever of me. I used a music printer to make touch maps.
Yeah. So you were exploring here?
I ended up in here once.
Okay.
It happened when I was doing prospecting for the miners, or for the merchants.
Okay.
Down in the mines. That
No,
took
I
Sarah's breath as well.
I went to bed once and woke up here, and then I kind of oriented myself from there.
So what's the merchant's interest in you prospecting? What do they get out of all this?
I think they wanted the mine, but they weren't very interested in what I was finding. I was finding deposits, veins, signs that the mining operations had cut short, iron, silver. They didn't seem that preoccupied with it.
They seem to want something in particular, I guess.
They were really concerned with a nearby site where someone was entombed.
Where was that site?
In the mines.
Do you know who was entombed there?
Oh, yes, a ripper.
A ripper?
A ripper. It's a term. Have you not read any of the Van Richten treatises on...
That serial killer.
That's the word.
The one we burnt out. Yeah, he was someone we dealt with. Buried him in the salt down there. What do they want with him?
They were just interested in where he was buried, and when we unearthed the burial site, we found an antechamber underneath that led to an acidic pit.
Who decided where we were going to bury that body?
Village elders?
Yeah, the village in general just kind of threw him in the mine.
They moved the body.
That's a really weird coincidence.
Oh, yes. So, I investigated the antechamber. There were a lot of strange properties going on there, and they started tunneling and digging and excavating.
Underneath the acid pit, or
to it.
To it.
Like they sent some people down first, but then they widened it up and added to it. I have some theories on that. But wait, what were you saying?
So when you excavated that antechamber, there was a body there, right?
Yeah, the Ripper's body. It was in the it was in the acid.
Just checking.
So we just didn't take it out because why would we disturb it?
In the acid. Didn't we bury that in a coffin?
I think we just threw him down there.
Yeah.
I mean, Priscilla kind of perks up. I mean, a salt mine's an ideal place for a body like that. It stops its spirit from rising.
Yeah.
So you were saying you had some theories?
Oh, yes, about the salt mine. That's where you bury someone like that. They'd leave a restless spirit, so bury them in salt. Tons and tons and tons of salt.
It does make sense.
Okay, so do you know how we get out of where we're here?
I think you guys could just probably wake up. There's a process to it, but it's going to be trickier to wake me up.
I guess we'll have to find you.
Well, no. The Cinder people have shown me that there's more. Like waking up from here is kind of just like it's instinct.
Yeah.
It's not really something you're doing on purpose, but there's a purposeful way to do it, and then I'll just flip you out.
Okay.
There's a section nearby this area. This is like the Outlands, and there's an interior place called the Fortress. And in the fortress, there's an actual forest growing in there, and it's near the periphery. And the trees, the wood from the trees in that forest, if burned here at the pyre, will help us kind of just transition out at will.
You said it's going to be more difficult for you. Why is that?
Because we need the wood.
Oh.
We don't have it here.
Difficult for one person to do alone.
Yeah, I can't go that far. I'd starve.
Oh, we have food here at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can probably leave you here while we go get it. Easy enough.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll try to. What are you all doing here? Like, it seems a little strange that you're here.
I mean, we're investigating you, and it seems that we've fallen to the same place as well.
We were kind of incidentally investigating you. I was trying to find out possible ownership to the mine, I guess. It's kind of seems a little insignificant compared to all this now.
Yeah, the mine's curious, and there's the things I was doing some side investigating too, other than the tracking down Leo Delisnia's resting place before I found his journals. Krezk has some strange things going on with it, like that Ripper. Did you ever find his manifestos or his journals?
I don't think we ever figured out what the fuck was driving him on.
I did. There was a tunnel system that went from Krezk to a nearby like work camp. It was in the mines.
Huh.
He was holed up in there.
So that's who was getting around. Okay.
This is something that I think you might have figured out. And that's how you guys are able to pin it on him.
Okay.
So to give a rebuff on the Krezk Ripper, because that's the term they use in civilized society for serial killers. So people were being murdered in Krezk, and no one was figuring out who was doing it, and they were all pointing fingers at each other as it went on because it was being done in a ritualistic manner. And what happened was the guy who was doing it was part of like a general work camp that kind of moved around Barovia, in between here and that other city you were in. And the trick was, since he was never here when the murders happened, obviously none of the work camp people were suspects. And they would come in for different types of work, doing mine stuff, burying bodies, helping with flood, clearing out the river when the rot came through. So you couldn't really pin on them because they weren't really around when it happened. But he would come in and use the shortcut he found to get in a few days ahead of time, do his murders, head to the camp, and then they would show up after the murders happened. And then when they left, he'd just slip back on the way back, do it again, and then come back, and then they get called back to help with cleaning up the bodies and like cleaning up the estate. So he could constantly be roped back in without ever being suspected.
And for the listener, that's one of the things we generated with the backstory cards.
That is, this whole thing is something we use just backstory cards for. Yep. So you guys knew he had a shorter way of getting here, you just never found his route.
Okay.
But you were able to pin on him with, for randomness.
But you said he had manifestos?
Yes, I was able to find. He had diaries. The man was mute.
What did they contain?
Paranoid ramblings, as if someone was hurting his mind. But if you go back far enough, they're simple and concise and thought out and don't show any of the normal signs you see in Ripper behavior. Rippers follow a certain personality archetype. Phrenologically speaking, parts of their brain are firing with different impulses and imbalances in their more aggressive humors. It causes them to act like this. And he displayed none of the handwriting pathology that would link to that. And it didn't grow over time like some of the sample works in Van Richard's Guide to Rippers. It was almost overnight.
I wonder whether that's related to the Mothman.
It's certainly not related to the Mothman, but it might be related to the caves.
Or here or whatever. Because he was warning us about not going to sleep and so on and so on. Were you visited by a Mothman, or I think in your case it would be the dog spirit, or the person I was mentioning last time?
No.
No. Okay.
No strangers watching you while you tried to sleep.
Well, I never slept well in the cave system, but it's a cave system. You always hear sounds and like things moving around and shifting.
I think that might be unique to what we're dealing with then.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense. We're Barovian. They're not.
Mothman?
I'm not.
The Mothman is a warning against dark tidings.
Oh, like a Grim.
Something like that.
I suppose.
Oh, okay. It's a very common folk belief.
Yes, but we're not talking about folk beliefs.
Of course, I agree completely. I was going to investigate the Ripper's backstory more, but I got caught up in other things. And it didn't seem relevant.
Okay.
Well, let's wake up. And then maybe we should go back and investigate those tunnels in Krezk a bit more.
Yeah, that might be the way to go.
So I guess we should get the wood.
Yep.
Okay.
When you were investigating the mine, did you find anything pertaining to ownership of it? Like, did they mention anything in passing or talking?
I mean, there was
that might indicate that it's more than just communal property?
Yeah, there's clear evidence that there's actually a family that has holdings on the mine. But it's not the Beliznias.
Do you know which family?
I found heraldry relating to one, and I think there's a ring or a necklace or some piece of, I almost want to say elven working, like Sylvan designery, that shows the transference of ownership from the Beliznias back to the Zaroviches to this family.
A ring. Yeah, that makes sense.
Never found it. There's also a burial site, maybe, in the woods, but again, I never got around to that.
Do you know where that burial site might be?
I think we know where it is.
It's somewhere near Krezk. I just never got there.
Okay.
That's where we stole that treasure chest.
I love that shit.
Excavated.
Okay.
Next you'll be saying that we stole this man's lungs.
No, not again.
Not again! There's a history with stealing lungs in our games now. It has not happened once or even twice. Threats.
Okay. So I guess we'll have to go on an adventure to get the wood to wake everybody up.
Yeah, once we get back to Krezk, I have all my notes and stuff in my study, and we can compare our information.
It's probably the best way to go.
So it's good.
Yep. Okay, I guess let's resupply and go to get that thing. Okay. I was thinking, so we have that card about being a folk hero and saving some things, and we've got that ever-burning heart. What if we donated that to these amber people, since this seems to be the central hub for this area? And whenever we going here, we'd have some place to go, and then, hey, we'd be the folk hero of these people. Donate this priceless heart.
It doesn't feel like they function like that. They don't seem like actual
I mean,
people.
There's nothing. They are people.
I mean,
I mean, they did.
I think there are people, they function on the fire, so they probably, like, once it runs out, whatever, then they go back to Earth. Like, if you give them some eternal fire, then they might be like, hey, thanks, or something.
So upgrading their little torch in the center of their gathering to an ever-burning heart of a vampire. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you want to do that, sure. These people consider you super cool.
Yeah.
So you like approach one of them, or just take the heart and huck it in the pit.
Yeah.
We'll do it with ceremony.
I mean...
Chaos dunk.
Yeah.
Like an angry comet.
Unless there's some Vestani around here that can translate.
No, if you put the fire in their central kind of pit, all the torches burn brighter, this burns hotter, the light goes out further, and like they get more active, and yeah, they hang out with you guys. They don't talk or anything, it's not their way, but they...
Give us free torches?
Yeah, sure, you know, if you want torches, wood with fire on them.
Or lantern stuff? Fuel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll give you a better conversion rate too.
Cool.
Because they use money to buy supplies.
Yeah.
To keep this place running.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're donating this
Yeah.
to keep this place running, and that will probably be a large expense for them, so...
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's magic.
So it's really the folk hero card.
Another card down. Look at that.
Huzzah, now I have all the remaining cards.
Peter, no! You piece of shit.
I got 5 bennies and 2 cards.
5 goddamn bennies.
You have 5 bennies?
Because I took that lucky edge twice. So I'm super lucky now. It's useful.
Get fucked.
Probably a little bit more useful than just upgrading a dice or 2. It's like,
Can't you spend bennies to draw cards and play them, or play more than one card?
No, I think there are only certain cards that allow you to do something.
No, I think you...
Like the Ravenloft rules that you spend bennies to play extra cards.
Yeah.
Like you have one card, you have 2 cards there, right?
Yeah.
You can spend one as normal, and then when you want to play another, you spend a benny.
Okay.
So you can play the 2 instead of the 1. You understand how good that's good, right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Just you seem confused about the concepts, like, but if I play 2 cards,
No, it's about like I was thinking that it allowed me to draw another one.
I don't think it lets you draw more.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So just playing them. That's fine.
No, all right. So Girard is able to give you directions to heading away from this area to another. It's not really on the map per se because it's not that little cluster of cave systems. They'll let you kind of go to a nearby area called the Fortress. And yeah, on the outskirts there is forests, and in those forests is the wood. You just have to harvest a bit of timber and lumber. That's all you need.
Okay.
Not a bunch, not a whole tree, just some wood.
Oh, if only I had brought my mechanical man specifically designed for chopping wood. It's his purpose in life.
Asher just slowly brings up his woodsman's axe that he's had this whole time.
Push Asher into the fire. And then from the fire, your woodsman shows up with Kevin playing as him. That's a race in Ravenloft, the created. Oh my god.
Just
Why
take
did you
your
make me
vampire
feel
house,
pain?
rub it across.
You just burn up your character and you get to play the Tin Woodsman.
I wish to explode.
Turns into an axe.
Well, just take the axe to branches, I guess, and
Yeah. I mean, if Kevin's gonna die, then a lot of this will become pointless because we're doing this to get him his heritage.
Not as long as we can keep his body animated.
Skin him and wear his thing.
Get him and wear his face. You were the body they found in the acid pit. You were the serial killer wearing Kevin's face. Full circle.
No, let's not have a full circle again. That's bad.
Not
Yell at
again.
each other.
Alright, let me pause because you guys will have to make your way to the fortress.
We might not have
All
to fight it at all.
We're back. So, Girard de Lisnia leads you to the passageway you have to go through. It is nearby one of these chambers. Don't worry about which chamber it is. We'll figure that out later. I'll have to edit the map. And you guys are able to take actually quite a scenic cavern system. It's probably 30 meters like diameter.
Oh.
And it's a lot of you like hugging the sides of the walls on a large like kind of crevice going into the middle of the ground. When eventually it tapers off and starts to get small into a regular sized kind of hole, maybe big enough for people. And you find that the rock and whatnot has subtly shifted over time. The natural cave stone and the porous surfaces and the weird parts of it have been slowly giving way to kind of mortar and carved bricks, like the inside of a castle.
Ooh.
Like it's a slow transition. Like you can see like the stone breaking off and flaking off, and underneath there's brickwork. And this entrance you found is like a sewer grate. Then the grating's been ripped open a long time ago, and there's like carved stonework and like flushing gray water going down into that crevice you guys were hugging the walls to not fall into. So it looks like it's basically a waterfall, an underground castle going into a ravine forever. It's gray water though. Don't drink it.
Okay.
That's how you get Diphtheria, the silent killer.
Dyslexia.
Dyslexia. So yeah, you are able to crawl inside if you want to enter.
I'll go first.
There we go.
I'll go second.
I guess I'm covering the flank.
All right. You guys have your torches, so you're able to illuminate the interior. The inside of this place looks like it's made of castle stone. It's like an old fortress, and this is like one room, but the way the walls are shaped and the tops of the walls are kind of detailed, it looks like this is an outdoor room, like a courtyard, but it clearly has a ceiling, and like the walls actually eventually like fuse into the cave work.
Okay.
So imagine a castle that was like phased through the ground and is clipping into the geometry.
Okay. Do we see any trees?
Not around here, but there are a fair amount of like leaves and stuff that seem to have blown through from underground like vents and whatnot.
Well,
And there are different ways in. Like, there's ways to go into the castle proper. There's ways to go around, and different like tunnels and crevices you can crawl through to move on the outskirts of the fortress.
well,
Do we know anything about whose fortress this is?
Did you ask Gerard for more info?
No, we really should have.
Okay. Then you realize you didn't really do a lot of investigating on this part.
well, then I guess we only follow the directions to go to where the forest is at. So we don't get lost.
He implied it's on the outskirts. He said it a couple times. It's on the outskirts of the fortress.
Okay.
Is there like a royal crest or anything around here, or something that would symbolize who owns this castle, though?
Not in the areas you're in.
What about the design? Is it Barovian?
No, it looks a little different.
Yeah, I've been to a few of the surrounding areas. Is it like from, not Volkovnia? I don't think that's...
Darkanese?
Yeah, is it like...
Yeah, it looks Darkanese.
Okay, yeah.
Black stone, sharpened tops, crenellation that instead of being flat. Crenellation are the little parts of the castle that are like the little stone rectangles on the walls. Yeah, the crenellation instead of being like square and stone is sawtoothed.
Yeah. Asher says as much. It's like, this is pretty much Darkanese from the looks.
It looks like what people have described to you as the Grim Fastness, the castle in the capital. The capital that exploded a few years back.
Oh, right. It's easy to see from like a distance too, isn't it? Because it's like this...
Yeah. Not like there's any trees in the way. The capital of Darkon, which you'll know from inference because Barovian's celebrated every once in a while. Darkon had a capital called Ilaluk, and Ilaluk held Aslan Rex's keep. Aslan, the Wizard King of Darkon, a hated enemy of Vlado and Starovich. Maybe 5, 6, maybe 10 years ago, it's hard to tell with the way rumors work, the capital exploded. And every living thing in it was instantly killed and came back as the living dead. And the city was kept basically in a time capsule. And then a few recent years ago, the entire capital exploded again, and there's a giant hole in the ground.
That's nice.
They say an angel of death lives there, waiting to bring the apocalypse with its giant mouth and leathery wings.
Sounds like some new writers wanting to rewrite history. We want this thing here. Swipe the old one, then. New version.
It was destroyed so hard it got thrown into whatever the fuck this is. Hell.
Oh well.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
So I guess we just continue to the forest.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys have to get on your stomachs and crawl through kind of a crawl space area where two plates of the cave workings have kind of broken apart and shifted. And on the outset of it, the air here is fresher and a little warmer. And the castle grounds and brickwork have broken open, and there is a forest in here.
Huh.
Of redwoods, like big, thick, 5 men wide redwoods.
We just need a couple limbs.
I mean, if we bring some spare, we might just leave them there for when we need to come back next time, right?
Oh yeah, agreed. That's gonna get us far in here.
Plus, you're going to crawl space. So you have to chop responsibly to kind of fit them through.
And I'd like to be in and out of here as quickly as possible.
Okay.
This architecture makes me uneasy.
Like, I know how fairy tales work. You take what you need, and nothing more. Yeah, I guess we'll just go for the low branches.
Okay. So yeah, you're basically hacking into them. Some of these trees look a lot older and desiccated. They have like those knot holes that look like faces and stuff, and like the big moss that have rotted in wood. There's signs of people have been here. Like you're seeing roots are covering like old bits of armor and shields and swords and stuff.
Worrisome.
Hope we didn't rise on some dead or what have you.
Who would like to make whatever the system's equivalent of a listen check is?
Notice.
Can we all make it or just one?
Notice.
You can all make it.
5. So success.
Nope.
Success.
7. So yeah.
All right. So who got a success? Not Kevin?
No.
You two hear rustling in the forest, like branches and leaves.
I will.
I ready my gun.
Yeah, I will pull out my bovine rehabilitation unit, and I will alert Asher that something may be coming.
Huh? Oh, okay. Just let me finish off this branch. Just break that off.
I guess we'll be covering him.
All right. Seems like you hear things moving in the forest.
Okay.
Sounds like the groaning of like stonework, or kind of the sounds of like wagon wheels under a lot of stress.
How much wood do we have?
I'm taking a branch for each of us, so 5.
You're getting like you're getting basically like kindling.
Bundle.
Yeah, a bundle of sticks.
Yeah, it's less sticks and it's more like actual like thick kindling wood is what you need.
Oh, okay.
It's not like just little bits of wood and bark or wood chips from like a
Yeah,
gerbil cage.
I was thinking more firm branches.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I suggest we hurry up.
All right.
You hear the sound of a whip snapping, like a cable that's run to tauts breaking and striking against the surface.
I'll hide a bit because I'm a brave sort.
All right, where will you hide?
Well, there's trees and stuff everywhere, right?
Yeah, there's
And
trees.
I can
with
tell
big,
what direction it's coming from. So
it echoes in here pretty well, but like, there's trees with like big gaps in them, like a mouth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in a tree mouth. That seems a little
I'll sneeze.
inadvisable, but I will go behind-ish a tree.
All right. Roll hide. The skill for hide.
Is that a skill?
I don't know,
Yep,
probably.
stealth.
Stealth. Do you have it?
No.
Ah, shit.
So I roll at -2.
Oh no.
I got stealth.
I guess you'll die.
Oh no.
All right, you draw.
You rolled
1.
1.
So
Well-
I don't hide very well.
Nope. All right, you hide behind a tree. What are you doing? Anything?
I guess, yeah, also take some cover.
We're gonna take cover.
Might as well. I rolled a double once. Can't reroll that.
Okay. Oh no, you can't. Yeah, because of Ravenloft.
Hmm.
Because of get fucked town, population jack.
So Asher turns around,
And
looks at these people.
gone.
He's like, where are they? He's holding a fucking branch in front of himself. He's like,
Got your lantern. Where are you guys? And like, remember, you're in a forest, so the light is bouncing off the trees. There's shadows everywhere. It's highlighting the faces of the trees. You're swinging around.
seriously?
Here. Oh, you fucks. Yeah, all of your lanterns are like moving around and like casting shadows, and Jack, the shadow you casted because you hear the sound, the groaning sound coming towards you. And when you move around to look, the light goes up and up and up to the tree you're behind, and the knothole doesn't look like a face. It is a face. A jack-o'-lantern face, weeping blood out of its jack-o'-lantern jaws, with dead little knothole eyes. And that snapping sound is its branch scraping against the top of the ceiling, whipping down to hit you.
Oh, whiplash.
I'm going to pause because the combat starts where you fight an undead treant.
Oh no!
We're gonna set this.
And we're back. The dread treant is taking a swing at 100% pure Angus beef. Where are dice? Oh, dice. Hurrah! Hooray for magic. There we go. Okay, so it's a wild town. So it's what do you wild towns get? D6s.
D6 plus whatever.
Okay, so it's a D12 plus 3.
Oh no.
Wait. Nope, fighting is D8. Whoa, I'm getting ahead of myself. Misses.
Oh.
Smash! You dive out of the way as that its whomping willow limb smashes down in front of you, jostling loose underbrush and layers of dead trees and roots, and also opening up a little catacomb full of dead people that have been crushed in similar ways. Their skeletons layered on one another.
I haven't read Lord of the Rings because it wasn't made yet.
I haven't read Lord of the Rings. It wasn't made yet.
I'm from World War I, guys.
I'm talking about shit. What was his name? Count Ferdinand. Count Fred Ferdinand.
Oh, you go first because you have an ace.
All right, so now initiative time. Who got the ace?
I got the ace.
All right, the treant goes again on a 2, and then it's going to use its lashing attack, which means you hit everyone adjacent with a single roll.
Well, then spread out, guys. Okay. So I guess I'll move away from it as far as I can in my free move and shoot at it with my rifle.
You're going to actually use your gun?
Yes.
Oh my god, a gun.
Woo-wee.
Not your bayonet.
I rolled a 4. So yeah, that's a hit. Then
Okay, roll damage.
2d8 plus 2. 8. 9. So that's 17. 24. So minus 15, so that's 9.
Two
So
raises.
2 raises, yeah. No, 1 raise.
1 raise? No.
Well, sorry.
4, 8
Yeah.
over 15. That's 2 raises.
Okay, yeah, 2 raises.
So it gets shaken and takes 2 wounds, but it's going to spend. I have bennies. Give me bennies.
How many pennies?
I get 3.
pennies.
I get 2 because it's a wild town, so I get 5 altogether. Give me the fucking bennies. All right, it's going to spend a benny to. I think it's called soaking.
Yeah.
All right.
Toughness.
What do I do? You roll toughness? No, not toughness. Vigor.
Vim and vigor.
The V word.
How long is a round?
I don't know.
Why do you need it?
I think it's like 6 seconds per.
It could be like a minute.
Like, what do you need the length for?
I'm trying to figure out if I can build something with gadgeteer in combat.
Yeah, that sounds like an action. You know, it might take 1 or 2 depending on how well you roll.
Use all those bones.
Well, it's GM's call, but it takes at least 1 minute.
So what was your damage? Wait.
2 wounds. So
A
it's
success takes away a wound?
yeah. So it's a wound, and another race takes away the other wound, and since it got rid of all those wounds, it's not shaken.
Perfect.
So 1 penny less.
Yeah, it has 4. And if this guy's too easy, I can throw more NPCs at you.
If that's, then I'll throw my.
Yeah. It's going to be quite a day. Okay, so that was the ace. Jack Angus opens fire with his magic World War I gun, and you shoot it in its knothole, bleeding face, and it makes a weeping willow sound as like wind and blood pour through its mouth. It's all groaning and screaming from the wood, like twisting and hitting, like thunder. It sounds like thunder. It's 50 feet tall.
Oh no!
That's what it says.
Oh no! Where's that hole? Okay, who's next? 6
what did you
versus
get?
I got a 5.
Okay.
6.
It's all you, woodsman.
You know what I'm not doing? Getting close to this thing. So I'm gonna make a throw roll. What's around here to throw? That's kind of heavy.
Now that the ground's being disturbed, there's a bunch of dead people with hatchets.
Yes.
I'll throw one dead man.
I mean, not one.
People in Darkanese-looking armor. Like, it even has the Darkanese symbol, which is the Burning Eye of Sauron, Aslan Rex's personal insignia.
That's horrific.
I throw an insult.
All right, I'm gonna throw in that one of those rusty hatchets.
Yeah, you can basically assume there's enough axes and hatchets around here that you can always have them to throw.
Cool.
This place is littered with dead woodsmen.
Okay, so I got a 4 on a D8. I don't think that hits.
A 4 is a hit.
Oh.
Because it's
You also get
ranged.
+4, so you get a raise.
Oh, okay. And this is just an
You
axe.
get +4 to hit this fucker. You're guaranteed to hit it on a roll.
Okay, then I forgot my race then. The extra 1, so enough strength.
D6. That's a shit roll. I got a 4 in total for
Its
damage.
toughness is 15.
Yeah, nothing.
Get bent.
I don't think I can hit even on a like max roll. So
Well, you
have to
got
do
your
raises.
damage plus the d6. What damage did
So
you
it
roll?
would be
a D8 and a D6 because that's the damage I
Yep.
roll.
plus. Did
Did you raise?
No.
He did get a raise because you rolled a 4, which means you got an 8, which was a raise for a +2 on d6.
So it would be another d6 on that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, plus another 4.
So what is that all together?
8.
Less than 15.
Okay. Just, it's good to keep in mind because you can eventually spike that up if you explode.
Okay.
Finally,
Phineas.
years later, we wish to explode.
So I am going
Okay, I
to.
wish we
Am
could
I
do it.
adjacent to it?
If you
Well,
want to be adjacent
I don't
to
want
it,
I
Be
mean,
adjacent to
you
it.
also rolled a 1 on sneak, so
you didn't roll a 1. You rolled a 1.
I mean, he did roll a 1.
Snake Eyes is the mechanical Ono.
Okay.
He didn't do Snake Eyes.
Okay.
So I'm going to hunch over and start using my gadgeteer trait to rapidly bash together a. It'll use the blast power, but it's a makeshift bomb.
Okay.
Because I still have my jug of plant killer that I made when I was following.
the herbicide!
Yeah, that lady, my herbicide. But I don't want to just run up and douse a jug on it. So I'm going to try and
I have
jury
throwing.
rig it into some kind of explosive
Yeah.
thing, which you could then
Explosive
chuck
as
at.
well.
I thought you were going to build a blame thrower.
No.
Just a gun that points fingers at people. Alright, that works.
But I'm going to start working on that.
Sure, next round it'll be done.
Great.
Tree, and it's going to pull its giant branches up and swing at all of you.
Are we all in range?
It has reached 3,
It's reaching the ceiling, so yeah.
which I think it means it has 30 feet or 30 meter range.
Mm-hmm.
So
Alright,
it
well, let's
gets
pause to make sure if I didn't fudge
That'd
that
be
up.
like the
Alright, we're back. So, remember listeners, an inch is 2 yards, and 2 yards is 2 meters, and it has 3 yards, so that's 6 meters, listeners.
5.4 meters.
Yeah. So 5.4 Nicole's.
No, definitely.
Look, I went to Catholic school
Either way.
or public school, one of the two. The point is, it can hit Jack and it can hit
Asher.
Asher. With its tree powers, which are a D8 plus the D6.
Plus the 2.
Yeah, that's why I put it down. Put it back.
Haha!
Aha! It misses.
Huh.
I'm saving its bennies for when you try to kill it.
That's fair.
All right, it sweeps around at both of you and totally misses. You guys duck, and like some of the trees get bent, and like branches get scuffed, and leaves are falling around you. And the sweep opens up more of the ground, revealing lots of crushed dead horses and like bent shields and swords and stuff. And then leaves start falling over top of it.
That implies
None
that
of the
these
trees are hurt.
That implies that these people died before this place went up in this cavern. Because horses.
Maybe. Maybe the horses were milking them for like horse milk inside the castle. It's possible they have nipples.
They brought them in as little ponies and
No,
raised them in
the
the
castle got
forest.
stuck down here, and they were using the horses for horse cheese.
Generations of inbred horses.
I think I have
Nothing
the highest.
happened.
No, you do actually. Huh.
Yeah,
All right,
king.
all right. He's gonna take a swipe at you guys again. Jesus Christ! I rolled the same roll again.
1 and 2.
I'm gonna re-roll that
Oh no. Oh,
to kill your characters.
that's nice, Devin. That's nice.
Whoa!
An 8. Roll again.
Oh, right. That's how the system works that we've been playing for
Yes.
7 weeks. So
13.
So what's your parries?
6.
Your Luke parries.
5. So it gets a raise.
A raise. No, not you. Never
Oh.
you.
You're fine.
Just cowering behind us.
So it does D12 plus 3 plus D10 damage.
Plus D6 because of a raise.
Yeah, here we go. D12
D10
plus D10 plus D3.
plus 3.
Yeah, plus 3. There's no such thing as a D3. 10, 15, 17 damage to you two.
Yeah, 17. You got toughness 8 and toughness 5. That means 4 damage. So that will be death. But I can use my lucky break to completely negate all damage I take.
You did it!
Aha!
I don't, so.
So you have to roll... You can spend a Benny to soak.
Yeah. So a Benny, and I roll toughness.
Yep. Toughness plus your wild die. Difficulty equal to the damage you took, which was 17?
No.
What?
The difficult is normal difficulty. The more you get, the less damage you take.
Right, this isn't vampire rules.
Yeah.
I got a 5
So,
on the D6.
so you remove 1 damage. So this was... How much this was? 9, 14,
15.
17.
So-
Minus your toughness of 8. So
9.
That's 9.
You roll what,
That's,
5?
that's damage. That would be 2 wounds, right? Shaken and 2 wounds. 2 raises.
Yeah.
You rolled 1 success.
You rolled above 4, so we got a raise.
So, no, he got a success, not a raise.
What do you
A
got?
raise is when you get 8.
Yeah.
Well, 4 over the difficulty.
But the difficulty is 4. It's a normal roll.
And you got an 8, right?
You got
No,
5?
I got a 5.
Okay, listen, math is hard, Kevin.
So,
okay?
you are shaken and you take 1 wound.
Ah, you're fine. You got 2 more of those before you even die.
And what does Shaken do?
Shaken is you can only take free actions, but if you make a spirit check and succeed, you're fine. You
Okay.
do it on your turn and you're fine. It doesn't even eat your turn because the rules aren't insane anymore.
Okay.
Also, I have to roll for injury, I think. Or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we gotta do that. Let's pause. Okay, so Asher gets busted up in the guts by a tree branch, and his strength goes down by a die type, and you're not feeling too well.
Got 1 wound.
Yeah, you took a wound. So, who's next on the cards?
Asher.
Yeah.
I guess roll your unshakenness.
So that's a spirit save to unshake.
Succeeded.
You're good.
Cool. I'm just gonna throw another axe. And that's not strength, thankfully, so.
Haha.
Let's see, 3. I get a +4 to,
Good.
Yeah, you do. This thing is enormous.
I didn't get a raise, so I only roll strength plus D6.
And it's ever slower.
6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yeah, I got an 8 in total for damage.
Less
so,
than 15.
yeah.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, it is.
I got a 7, you got a 6. Okay. So I guess I go now. Should I call for backup here? Do we need this? Are we going to survive? Or...
Do it if the bomb doesn't work.
Oh yeah, I guess let's try your bomb first. Okay, so I'm going to just shoot it with my gun. That's a 6. 9 to 13, so that's a raise. Okay. So 2, 8, 10, 18, 20,
Oh, holy shit.
24 damage. So the over 15, so it's 9 over, so shaken and 2 wounds.
And what was the damage total?
24?
24 sounds right.
Yeah. It was 9 over his toughness.
Okay, he'll spend a penny to soak, which is a toughness roll.
And 1.
And 1. Just making sure I got the right toughness. Toughness. Vigor 10, not toughness.
Yeah. 1 success. So it takes.
So it would take 2 wounds and be shaken.
So it takes 1 wound and it's still shaking because it didn't completely remove all wounds.
I keep thinking this is vampire rules, so if it fails, it dies.
No.
I keep getting confused by the vampire. The vampire
The
fucks me up.
treant gets 1 wound and is shaking.
Alright. Perfect. Who's next? Jack.
No.
Oh, Phineas.
So I've taken the gourd lantern that I got from the gourd peoples and infused that with the jug of plant-killing herbicide to make a flaming ball of herbicidal plant death that I'm going to cast at it. It takes 4 power points. This is a gadgeteer thing, so that's basically all of them for this talent. And I am going to chuck it at it.
Go for it.
Do you
Unfortunately, I'm not skilled in throwing, so this is going to be
So-
an unskilled roll to try and get it over there. Which means I get -2 to it,
Yep.
but I get +4 to hit it because it's so big.
Yep.
So it's a net of +2.
There you go.
7. So I get it there,
Roll.
which does 3d6 damage. And because it's flaming, if this is something that can catch on fire, it has a chance to catch on fire.
It does have a chance to catch on fire.
So how does this weakness to fire work?
+2 damage.
Okay. That's just exploding. So that's 13.
And you get to roll again.
And one explode. Okay, 13 plus this.
19.
19. I need more roll space.
Just roll over there.
21.
So 6 over, so damage in the wound.
+2. Right? Because it's
Fire.
vulnerable to fire?
Oh yeah.
So 23.
2 raised it. Yeah, that's 8 over. So okay, 2 wounds. I guess it wants to soak.
Yes, it does.
1. So it takes. It's already shaken, so that means it cannot be reshaken. It's not reshaken again. It just takes a wound instead of that. So there'll be 3 wounds coming its way, and it's soaked 1.
Yeah, so I think it dies.
If it has HP of 3, yes.
Yeah, it dies. You throw a bomb at it.
A tree bomb.
So I have 1 GM Benny left to kill you guys with. So you throw a flaming herbicide tree bomb and it detonates on its face and like it spreads it around this forest and starts knocking trees over.
God.
It dies so fast and so quickly and the wood desiccates so much that it combusts from the inside out like an earthbound monster. And it's on fire and tipping over onto the dry grass below.
Okay, let's run.
Yeah, let's get our wood and get out of here.
Yeah. So I guess we take our little bundle of wood, go through the little crawling space, and then attend to Asher's wound.
Alright, you guys dive for the crawl space and get the fuck out of here before you smuffocate.
Yes.
As you hear, like, roaring in the background. Horrific roaring. So, you guys crawl out of that crevice and get to the chasm with your gear in tow. You want to talk about it?
I think I'm going to be patching up Asher now.
Yeah,
Success.
probably.
So I guess your wound goes away in the magical hour.
Oh, good. I think I almost coughed up a lung there.
Just coughed up your lower intestine.
That too.
Yep, that was a tree that attacked us.
Is that what all trees are like in Australia?
I didn't say it's from Australia. It's probably something from your guys' place.
I mean, Darkon definitely ain't our place.
What's Darkon?
It's a shithole.
Sounds like it. Okay, we got a wood. Let's not attract anything else, I suppose.
Let's head back.
Yep. We head back to the land where we're heroes.
The land where we're heroes. So, yeah, after an hour's travel or something, you get back to the cinder fields.
Huzzah. Hey, Deliznia, we've got the wood. How else would you announce it?
Oh, you're back. Very good.
Yeah.
Perfect. You got some cuttings. Let's put this in the bonfire.
I feel like we should have asked you far more questions about that fortress.
Oh.
You know what's Darkanese?
I did not. I haven't really investigated it.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to. There was a giant... a tree.
Also, now it's mostly on fire. Like, a large portion of it.
Hope it doesn't burn everything.
Well, it was either we set that on fire or we died, so, hard decisions.
Should be safer now.
Oh, well, okay.
Those trees have ghosts. That's probably even more fucked.
Oh. He starts stacking the wood on like a metal platter kind of with like spikes and stuff on it, so it makes like a tent, and then he puts that into the bonfire and like gets you guys to gather around.
Okay.
Well, before he does, he's like, okay, so there's a like a little kind of bolt hole pit here that we can kind of open up, and if there's stuff you want to take with you, you have to put it in the bolt hole.
Let's take the pirate treasure.
And the treasure from the vampire, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I got that with me.
Should we take the lanterns with us?
Yes.
Oh, they won't come with you.
Okay.
I usually give them to someone here to hold on to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've got our little tarp area back there, so...
No, okay.
So we'll take the treasure and just the rest of the stuff that we have on us.
Yeah.
All right. You guys toss it all in. You guys gather around the fire. The fire kind of smokes and creates a really thick kind of miasma, and everything gets blurry. And after a while, everything gets kind of dark.
The Liznies are coming with us, right?
Yeah, obviously. Fuck this place.
We live here now.
Fuck that.
It's a preferable alternative to coming back to Darkon or wherever. Barovia.
And you guys wake up
Where do we wake up?
where you went to sleep.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
I immediately hit the off switch on Boris so he doesn't axe anyone.
Fuck.
It'd be a great way for this Deliznia mystery to end.
You're all murdered.
Player axe.
You guys are murdered. Let's go play Kingdom Death Monster. Fuck you, Thursdays.
Okay. So, the Elysians are with us, including the
Yeah.
other guy. Okay.
Oh, he's actually with us? He
Yeah.
didn't fall to that pit down there? And
You're all good.
okay.
Convenient.
I was kind of worried that he was down there
A
and
dead
in
man?
a coma.
Okay. Well, everything seems to be in order. I guess our loot just lies somewhere.
Yeah, it's just around.
Okay.
Covered in ash and dust.
I'm gonna go check on Bartholomew.
You guys shake off all that sweat and your rust.
Yeah.
Who?
The donkey.
Oh, the donkey. God, that thing died years ago.
Oh no.
It's the future.
Oh no.
Yeah. How do we estimate how much time has
Why is the
passed?
future exactly the same, but more people are dead?
It's a better future.
The past does not exist. It's been, from your guys' perspective, a few hours.
No. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a nice morning, I suppose.
Yeah, the dawn breaks. The morning mist is melted away.
That's kind of perfect. We should leave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Is my stuff here?
What stuff?
There's a cart, and there were supplies.
Did we see that outside? No.
No.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
well, we got our own cart and some supplies as well. So
Who the hell would have been here to take yours, though? I mean,
Well, people were coming up to leave food.
that was a while back.
if people are coming up here to leave food, they're not gonna steal other supplies that are up here. That
Oh,
feels-
you'd be surprised. Sometimes people get steely.
Well,
He looks at Phineas.
It's just-
Yes, they do.
well,
He kind of looked at you guys in general, because you're Barovians.
I'm not.
You live here.
So does he know. He's got a place in Krezk. In the
But
mines.
Bartholomew and the moths are all fine. It's only been a couple hours.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we can load up on all this stuff. I know, take some wine and go. Yep.
Yeah. You pack up your things and you leave the monastery of Silver Threads.
Mm-hmm.
You guys get into your cart. Priscilla and Gerard travel with you. Do you want to talk to them about anything? They're information people.
So I was just like wondering whether we'll be going back to that place each night now, or what's going to be happening, because did we solve this mystery and we won't be coming back for a while? Because that seems to be looming over us.
I'm more interested in what he knows about the politics of what's going on at the mine with the people who are employing him.
I guess we should maybe when we come back to Krezk, take him and talk with the people that have been employing him, perhaps.
Oh,
I don't know if it's a good idea to go into Krezk with him,
I mean, why not?
because he's a Delisnia.
I mean, is it that bad, really?
Yeah, I mean, you're not from here.
Neither
From
is he.
here.
Everyone starts making noise. It's like, no.
Mhm. So should we meet with some people outside of town, confront something that's going on?
What is his,
I'm not big on confrontation.
What is his next step?
Well, I suppose I should just go home. This was a big waste of time, though enlightening.
Okay.
So we'll part ways on the path.
Oh, I have to go to Krezk so we could, compare notes.
Yeah. I mean, Krezk's on the way.
We're just not having a big confrontation with the merchants when we got there.
I would advise against that. They're acting awfully weird.
Yeah.
There's something strange about them.
Can you elaborate on that at all?
They're just their behavior, their disinterest in mercantile things for the mine.
Right.
Should we go back into the mine together and figure something out there? Is there anything else left to find in the mine, you guys think?
Or when I found my own body in there, yeah. I really want to go back in there.
I think there might be more to learn in the mine.
Well, what are you all trying to... what are your end games here?
You know that family that ownership of the mine passed to?
Mm-hmm.
The one signified with the elven ring? We believe that's his family. And
Yeah.
we're trying to find evidence to corroborate that.
Ring got
Okay.
stolen, so
Well, stolen.
it was in the mine, and now it isn't. Someone obviously
Oh,
picked it up and
stolen.
stole it.
Stealing!
Oh, I'd love to help. I just don't see how. My investigations have just gone on tangents mostly.
Yeah, and I'm going to be frank. Delisnia trying to back my claim is probably going to hurt it more than help it.
I mean, wasn't there something about the Liznians used to own that mine and then passed it on to your family?
They passed it on to...
It was passed on. The Elysians did not pass it on. There's a very significant difference.
Okay.
it was taken.
It was never not in Strahd von Zarevich's possession.
Like all things.
Because what else is left unexplained here?
Why we keep going down to that hellscape every night?
No, yeah.
Why your family has the mine in the first place? It seems kind of
Why
like an
the
odd
Merchants
move.
Guild wants the mine?
Yep.
Yeah, especially since they don't seem to want the mine for profit so much as whatever the hell is up with that acid pit.
Yeah. But I'm not sure whether they'll be able to help us with anything on that front. No,
Why the acid pit was only found after the Ripper's body was uncovered.
And then their interest went to that, from the sounds of it. Wonder if there's a way to drain that.
It shouldn't be too hard. You just have to sift it somewhere else. Get a pump or a bellows going.
Find a cavern
Shovels.
below.
I mean, we've got someone that can rig something up. So,
Certainly can.
pump it
And,
outside.
They don't seem to go that far down. If we can sneak in at night, get that drained. I know one thing that's at the bottom of that, but
Maybe there's something else there.
yeah.
Maybe that's the clue.
So we head back and we check out the mine, drain the acid pit.
Yep. So I guess we were expecting that the merchants mightn't have the ring, but we don't really have much.
If I can find another claim down there somewhere, it doesn't just have to be the ring. Anything, documents.
Yeah. Should we try contacting the Mothman, see whether he's done with prophesizing our doom if we sleep again? Or what?
Does it? I don't think it works that way.
Yeah. I have no idea.
You guys travel asking questions amongst yourselves, hoping to get back to your information.
Yep.
Just gonna... All right, and we're back. So you guys get back to Krezk.
Yay!
There's a commotion in the village. There are people who are like kind of gathering around the sort of town hall area and arguing amongst themselves. And you hear people kind of like it's hard to tell, but there's more people dressed in black than usual, and it's a commotion.
Go in and ask around.
Some of the locals, you know, from the Cat's Cradle are there, just like talking amongst themselves, kind of detached from the group, like smoking and just like cussing and stuff.
What seems to be going on?
Another murder,
Another murder.
just like the last ones.
Like the Ripper ones?
What?
What murders are you talking about?
Like before, like the one we burned.
No.
Yeah, they wouldn't use the term ripper here, I don't think.
No, that's a modern
Yeah,
term.
Yeah. We're backwards.
Savages.
Exact same.
Legs and arms broken, bound, drowned.
This was like they were put on a rack or one of those wheels, raking wheels.
From your guys' investigation, the things the Ripper was doing was like he was binding them and breaking their limbs, and then he was drowning them with water, and sometimes he would take like their tongue or their eyes or something. But culturally speaking, and you never really had to delve deeper into this before you guys caught him, the stuff he was doing really mirrored what the Morning Lord priests and the Ezraites would use for exorcisms. Which fits into the delusion, like, you know, kind of stereotypes that you drew up when you were profiling him with the criminal profile. He suffered like voices and delusions in his head.
The Church of the Morning Lord must have been getting some side eyes for a while after that.
Not really more than usual.
Who was the victim?
It was a one of the mine merchants.
Oh,
Curious.
Was there a target demographic for murderers before this? Like, is there specific people being targeted?
There were probably 13 victims over the years, or year, from Krezk and nearby kind of satellite villages, and it was the young, the old, and people who had recovered from illness recently. Anyone who was either unclean, impure, or showing signs of corruption because they're going through puberty.
And weakened, because he's... Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so couldn't really defend themselves, usually, especially if you're recovering
Also
from
that.
And does this merchant fit into that at all? Is he sick or
old.
You'd have to get a closer look at him. They've moved like the body, and like people are arguing amongst themselves and talking about how like they didn't catch the killer or the killer's back.
we wouldn't know from the mentioning like which merchant it was?
They keep to themselves.
Yeah.
They're not from Krezk.
I don't think any of us really interacted with them because they're vaguely hostile.
Krezk's also a merchant town, and you have people coming and going all the time that are outsiders.
Yes.
Where's the body being held?
Where would a small town like Krezk keep a body if they wanted to keep it on like preserved?
It'd probably be in one of the churches.
Yeah.
What about storehouses, like a food storehouse or whatever that has like a cold room? Would that be something they'd have access to? Like a larder? Winter's breaking. They have to have like a cold storage, right? Like a cellar.
Yeah, depends on how fresh the body is,
Or
too.
would they put a
'cause-
body in there? Would you put a
Well, if
body
it's like a
in
sealed
that?
cellar.
Especially because they know that it was people who like had contaminants a lot of the time. They probably wouldn't want to store it anywhere where there'd be food or anything like that.
So we probably have some place where you normally prepare the bodies to be,
Yeah, maybe that
Yeah,
too.
so-
Like, so the churches might have like a cold cellar
Mm-hmm.
because your guys are in a mountain and the permafrost is awfully cold.
That's what they would do, definitely. I think, yeah. Just-
All right, then yeah, one of the smaller monasteries in the church district has like a cold area.
We dealt with this before. I'm sure they'll let us look at it.
Let's go check it out.
Let's. All right, the five of you head on down.
Okay.
It is a damp, empty cellar. It looks like they don't use it for much anymore because the various monasteries are, they're more just keeping like the architecture intact and living there. Dark stonework, stained floors from like years of things spilling and being, moved about. Earthy smells, chill in there. You can see your breath. And on a large wooden like feast table almost that was moved down and left here that had a leg that broke that they've kind of stitched up and fixed with like stone and books is there's a body on there.
Okay. So I guess I'll examine it with my medicine skills.
Sure.
Like Dr. A.
His arms and legs were bound behind his back and were broken. The probably adult male, mid-30s. Strong, has sort of farmer's build. Looks like he is a local to Krezk. Like he's one of or local to Barovia. He's a Barovian member of the merchant company. Good teeth. Thick hair. Good teeth is a sign you want to pick out if you are living in a medieval hellhole.
Yep.
No patches, no sign of like syphilis or like ongoing infection or tumors.
Is he still dressed? Does it look like they...
No, they stripped him.
Or
He has
his
welts and wounds all over his neck and wrists and ankles.
from torture, yeah.
So he's not really fitting the bill of sick or weakened or unclean.
No, pretty fucking healthy.
Yep. No organs missing.
That's good.
Tongue, even?
Yeah, it's all there.
So just his limbs.
Broken.
So this could be a copycat. He's not really following the...
You want to do medicine? See if you can crack any secrets out of here.
That's success.
Nice. Raised at all?
Nope. I guess I
You
can
rolled double
reroll.
fours. Oh, right. It's not 2 dice. Never mind. Yeah, you just need a success. Don't spend it. I forgot how the entire system worked after 8 weeks.
Oh, then.
Anyway, as you're investigating the body, this is something that you didn't catch on your initial go through, but there's a lot of waxy, glossy damage to his skin around his arms and legs and throat.
Okay, so...
Frostbite.
Oh.
It's interesting.
So I guess he was held somewhere, probably naked for a while. In the permafrost, probably. Or even outside, maybe.
We would know like what a breaking wheel is, right? For his first.
Oh yeah, Christ, yeah.
Because if he was spinning on that in cold water, that would be enough to do that to his arms and legs, and drown him eventually.
I mean, if it's just around his arms and legs and not anywhere else, then that might be different.
Because the way the wheel works is that it dips a
Yeah.
part of your body in at a time.
Yeah.
So depending on how high up he was, it could have been in the water.
Yeah.
It's possible. The onset of the permafrost looks like it happened, or the shit. What was the word for freeze hurt?
Frostburn?
Frostburned. Frostbite. That's it. For freeze hurt. The onset of the frostbite looks like it happened rapidly, and it's pretty severe. Like when you start to look under like the waxy skin buildup and stuff, there's like dead skin all through it, going down to the muscle tissue, but only localized around the wrists and ankles and throat.
Okay.
Like if you start pulling the skin away, it's like more damaged underneath than it is at the top. The opposite of how frostbite works.
So,
It's frozen from the inside out.
do you know of any creatures that are basically frozen and move like that?
So all of you who are from Barovia start listing off creatures that are like vampires that kill you in the winter.
Okay.
Ghosts. Maidens who froze in the winter.
Ghost vampires.
White brides.
Yep.
Wendigos.
Wendigo vampires.
Are his clothes around, actually?
Yes.
We should check out the sleeves and whatnot, see if there's mineral deposits or something on it. Might tell us the
That's
water.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Or if he was in the mine.
His clothes are dry. Like around the neck parts, it's a little damp, but the clothes are dry.
But can we check and see if he's got any like visible dirt or soil from being in the mine?
But if only the necklace thing, that means he was just like dunked head down and everything else was left. So it probably wasn't the wheel that, at least not full
Right.
dunk. So maybe he was just held down somewhere or something.
His limbs were broken, though, so that's kind of a...
Yeah.
Well, what we're just saying is that his limbs were broken,
Yeah.
he was drowned,
Yeah.
and he has marks on his wrists, his throat, and
And
his
legs.
legs as well
Yeah.
that look like he got frostburn from the inside out. Is that correct?
Well, okay, and yeah, he only is wet around the neck area, so I just want to just drown in the bucket or very carefully dipped him in the wheel.
Priscilla kind of perks up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't there still be water in his lungs then?
Well, yeah, if he drowned,
Is there a way you can check that? Like, push it
I know
out?
one way.
take a little back at it.
Autopsy.
I mean, you're the doctor here. They're not going to complain if you start...
Sure.
You crack this bitch open.
Yeah.
There is indeed water in his lungs. And an obstruction.
Huh.
There is a small oval silver necklace with the symbol of the Morning Lord on it in his throat.
That ain't a good
It's like
sign.
a rosary.
Okay. Vaguely religious character, so would I know if there's like a ritual or something with this where you like put the symbol on the tongue or...
This matches Phineas's original appraisal of attempted exorcisms.
Huh.
So maybe they were dunking him in water and he inhaled that thing along with water and drowned that way?
This seems like a more legit exorcism, given it's not organ removal and shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Should take the necklace as evidence.
Of what?
Well, we might be able to find out who had it last. Or find the merchant who sold it. It's a silver necklace, right?
Yeah, it's been silver.
Yeah, so like it's not just like a casual object that
I mean, he looks like he was more well off. So
But even if we determine that it's his necklace, that's something to go on.
Also, it's silver. That kind of counts out vampires, yeah? They're not going to be able to hold a holy symbol like that.
Yeah, it is a sacred object.
So we can find out who last had this necklace. We're one step closer to finding out who committed this atrocity.
Well, your regular Morning Lord priest isn't going to be carrying around something like this. It'd be someone high up, wouldn't it?
Depends. A lot of the Morning Lord priests end up having actual, like, they'll have ones made of wood or maybe steel. Some of them have, like, cold iron, but...
Silver, though, yeah.
Silver is uncommon, yeah.
I think we need to go check out with the silversmith.
The silversmiths, yeah, the Morning Lord Church.
Silversmith is a pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah, we would have its mark if it was made by someone here.
I'll give you one more medicine roll, Pete.
I'll reroll. I'll reroll again.
Oh, burn through them, Peter.
My pennies. Oh, that's it. 5. That's a success.
There are burn marks inside of his mouth on his tongue.
Huh.
I wonder if he was burned by the medallion. Like, we're assuming that this was an exorcism that was just carried too far on an innocent person. But what if it was an exorcism that was carried out on a very deserving person?
Do you think the metal was heated up, or do you think it was burning because...
Because it was a sacred object.
I mean, does the metal look like it's been heated up, Mr. Fix-It?
Like, Gerard looks at it.
Yeah.
Silver's melting point is...
Kind of low.
pretty low.
Yeah. Well,
It's not like iron for torture.
plus it tarnishes easily and so on, so if you...
Finish is lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one looks pristine, though?
Yeah.
Shit.
Do the burn markings match the outline of this?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, okay.
What happens to vampires when they die?
Well, his lungs didn't turn into gems.
I guess we'll take out one of the lungs and try poking it with...
Priscilla,
no. Advice against that.
not a vampire.
Okay.
What are
That's not how the body works, especially this late in the day, because you got in when it was nightfall.
Oh, yeah.
We would have seen something by now.
Okay.
Do we have a designated exorcist in town? Like, who would
You have the Church of the Morning Lord, and
Yeah.
exorcisms are not a thing people just throw around. They're dangerous. They
Is
end
it-
up killing people sometimes.
Yeah, is it a thing they've actually been allowed to do at times, though? Like, is
Not in living memory. Mostly because when you're doing an exorcism, you're basically going to be killing that person and hoping their soul goes to rest and not to hell.
Yeah, this is distinctly sounding like this person may have been purged of something that was actually dangerous, though.
Yeah. So I guess we're dealing with someone that's trying to purge some evil spirits.
Yeah. This isn't the same as the serial killings. Those were just blatantly a madman. This is...
Yeah, but someone seems to have disturbed the serial killer's tomb, so maybe his spirit tries to possess people and someone's trying to exorcise it.
So I think we should do two things. One, I think we should go to a silversmith and see if we can track down the possession of this jewelry. And the other thing is that I think we should go to the Church of the Morning Lord and casually and delicately drop some of our findings. That we think that this person that someone attempted an exorcism on it, and that we think that the exorcism was deserved. And see if we put that information out, if anyone gets back to us on it.
Priscilla kind of perks up. What happened to the other bodies?
The murders?
Did we bury them?
No. Like, how'd you find them? Like, were they like this?
What were they like?
Like this.
Yeah, exactly like this? Okay.
Some of them were missing their eyes and tongues and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... The other ones were, like, brutalization, stuff pulled out.
What was pulled out?
Their tongues, their... I think it was their hearts, wasn't it?
Yeah, tongues, hearts,
Eyes, too.
eyes.
Something you recognize?
She moves over to the body, and because she's an adventurer, and takes out a small like stiletto, something you wouldn't want to be stabbed with, and kind of just lifts up the eye and kind of just starts peeling it out.
Ugh. Asher just kind of turns to the side and doesn't watch.
And it shows you the back of the eyeball after she looks at it. It's covered in like down and feathers.
The hell is that?
Blackbird signs. Possession.
So this was a
Kinda
legit
just
exorcism.
Drops it into the bucket and keeps off her gloves.
Oh, I guess I was right. The possessions then.
This isn't a spirit possession, though. This is transpossession. A outsider. A fiend.
Seriously?
Blackbird sign, burned by the sign of a holy symbol, exorcised.
So are you saying that the other people before, they were possessed as well?
I haven't seen their bodies, but she goes over to one of the wrists that you were examining because like they were laying, those were broken, and she like grabs the wrist and starts to twist it around, and it goes all the way around and then back like an owl. Checks the neck, the ankles.
Don't trust owls, man.
So that's why everything's broken, is because their limbs are...
Walking backwards. Chanting incantations in tongues.
I don't think any of the other victims were acting like that before they got preyed on. This seems different.
I don't know much about transpossession. I only perused the book Van Richten put out. But the signs are slow burning and are hard to identify between the first 2 or 3 stages. Unless you have an eye for it.
Who do we alert about this?
No one outside of this room can be trusted. Because no one outside of this room was in Krezk when this person was killed.
But is the person who killed this person our enemy?
I don't think so. I don't think this was a...
Like, if someone is killing things possessed by a fiend, aren't they working for the good of the town?
She doesn't say anything.
I don't think we can answer that until we find who did it.
Yeah.
Well, we want to find who did it. We also want to find... Well, we don't really want to find the fiend who's possessing people, but we need to find a way to put a stop to it.
Yeah, I'm going to say if Strahd finds out, if any officials find out how many people have possibly been possessed in this town, I don't think they're just going to...
Transpossession doesn't usually happen in large numbers. It happens once. A fiend gets took into someone who has a weak soul and replaces them with it. You're saying the serial killer killed how many people? Over a short period of
A
time?
dozen or something.
That's not usually how transpossession cases go.
How long ago was it the last body?
Like over a year.
How fast do bodies decompose?
I think faster because we're not full of
Yeah.
preservatives and seagull crap.
But we're somewhere really cold.
It's pretty
Yeah.
worst.
What if we dig up a body
Yeah.
and we check if it's also got signs?
I mean, a lot of it will be in the soft tissue, so probably it'll decompose within the summer.
And the permafrost sticks around pretty good around the Krezk Mountains.
So let's see who was buried up there, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe the way to go. I mean, I ain't keen on defiling a grave, but...
The body's not going anywhere. Let's split into investigation teams.
Would the murderer body still be there? Because if he was buried in salt, that should preserve it.
It went
Also-
missing. Like, we're not missing. It was in the bottom of the acid lake.
Yeah.
Well, conveniently enough, we're to investigate there. So, yeah. Okay. So we'll have to investigate the bodies. The
Silversmith.
Where was this person murdered?
No.
Question: is there someone like standing guard outside?
Like, you can get the info, but
Yeah.
this is what she asked. Where was this person murdered? We should check for signs.
Yeah. Okay. So silversmith, figuring that out.
My brother and I will go and get his notes on what he found about your previous killer. You continue with that side of it. We'll gather up and get ready to leave after we can exchange information.
Yeah. Meet us at the Cat's Cradle. It's a inn near the exit of town.
Sure. And you guys break. Do you want to break for the night, or do you guys want to continue on?
I mean, I don't think that's maybe even a good break for the season, would it?
Oh God,
No?
no.
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 We haven't figured nearly enough of this out yet.
It's planting the seeds for the next season.
Oh God.
Okay.
I meant for tonight. That's what I was asking about.
No.
I can go with them.
Because I still got more. I can still keep going.
Yeah, if you still got stuff, if you
Perfect. Yeah, I was asking you guys. Let's
I
go.
mean, it's natural continuation of this. If we can have some good closure to better than this, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you guys find out that they were killed in their home that they were renting out. Like, they rented out an entire kind of cabin in the outskirts of the city. The merchant people kind of do that so they can have their own kind of space.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you know for that answer. And you guys want to talk to the Church of the Morning Lord and a silversmith.
Yep.
So in what order are we doing this?
Silversmith first.
Silversmith, yeah.
Or no, wait. Maybe we should do the church first because we're kind of floating info out there.
If we know who the silversmith, if we go to the silversmith and we find out who belongs to them, we can ask specific questions to the Church of the Morning Lord about this person
It's
now.
like, hey, we don't ask him, hey, who got this thing that was found in the murder body? Like, oh, tell us more about this
Sure.
item.
Was there? It was like a break and entry, or
He was killed in his home.
okay, no specifics.
But you haven't been to the crime scene yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to investigate the crime scene as well.
All right, silversmith then.
All right, there's silversmith in town. His name is Timothy. That's an actual name. And yeah, he's up and about. Hello, Asher.
Hey,
What are you doing up and around?
not asking for more money, so don't worry about that.
Good. Phineas, Jack,
Yep.
How are we finding you today?
better? I've seen better days.
Now what's going on?
Town's all up and you been passed out? Town's all up and out at arms.
We were out of town. We just kind of got back.
Yeah, another one of those murders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got something here. We might want you to check out. Don't know if you made it, but well, here
What
the
do you
ones.
Blunk.
The rosary or whatever?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not one of mine.
Familiar with the work though?
Yeah, it's old. It's Barovian. It was, I don't know, probably 2-3 generations ago. You can tell from the notches and the way the mold was made.
Huh.
It was, I think I've seen these come out of the home, the kind of home faith in the village of Barovia.
Okay.
Anyone you know who might be walking around with one of these?
Well, it's the Morning Lords, so the clergy have them, and family members keep them around as mementos.
Has it been? Oh, go ahead.
It depends on who made it. Village of Barovia, probably any of the silversmiths there would know.
Hmm.
Smith, singular.
Has anyone around here been asking you for similar kind of work? Any
No.
tokens of the Morning Lord or?
No, it's slow. Spring's coming in, so all my work was done during the winter.
Has anyone brought in a ring asking for like appraisal or anything?
Not really.
No.
No, the thaw's coming in, the trade's going to start up again, but for the most part, it's been quiet.
All right.
Should we cash out what we found?
Oh yeah, we did find silver.
I mean, silver and then all the gems and stuff.
Oh yeah. Could try selling that off.
I don't know how much is the silversmith.
Well.
How liquid is he?
Right?
I mean, he could do with a few jewels, because especially if the busy season is starting up, it's like way to
No,
kick
but
it
I'm
off.
thinking, does he have enough money to
I
pay
mean,
for a few jewels?
Probably You could take the silver and resmith it into our local coins.
That sounds like a way to get murdered for counterfeiting.
I mean, because who mints the money here?
Not this guy. But they also don't really deal in currency if you're just locals. Currency is something that's dealt with by traders. It's favor trading, the way, poor people do. You trade in favors and stuff and like kind of small little things. And you have to use money changers and stuff.
So I guess we just use the gems as actual money for trading.
This guy wouldn't make a weapon or anything like that, would he?
Sure, he's a silversmith.
Okay, what if I gave him money to... Not only money, but like enough silver to craft into a weapon?
Like, what are you talking?
An axe. Like a bigger axe.
You mean you want to take an axe in silver?
Yeah.
Different process.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
That works.
Yeah. I just have to talk with one of the blacksmiths I usually work with. It's a custom kind of order. What are you looking for? Filigree? Design work?
Bit of both. I just need something that's heavy silver.
Silver's tricky to work with over top of iron, but I can see what could happen.
Hey, I'll tip you good, don't worry.
Alright. We can talk about that, later. I'm taking kind of the next couple of days off.
What is that?
Murders.
You
You're
don't
not
want to
doing
be
any
out.
work.
And so
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, be careful the next few days, alright? Just keep
sure.
an eye on who you trust.
You guys too. Don't walk out it alone.
And if anyone comes in looking to get any of these medallion types made, especially any outsiders, let us know.
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
okay.
Well, that's a good start, definitely. So...
Church of the Morning Lord or the crime scene?
I'd say crime scene. The Church of Moreland seems like where we get the most answers if we found signs.
Yeah.
Crime scene, I feel like we almost need Priscilla with us.
Is she? I mean...
Well, I guess I got knowledge of cult.
She knows like monsters and stuff like that, it seems like, but I don't think she knows like crime scene investigation.
She has no idea how to do a crime scene investigation.
Okay.
She literally reads the Van Richten books that were put out like a decade or two ago that are, compendiums on how to deal with monsters. And, uses that.
Speaking of like the Wharf effect and stuff like that, I was reading about like how often in the books Van Richten just gets kidnapped or mind controlled or thrown in an asylum so that the PCs can save him.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because otherwise he's going to outshine them.
Exactly. Like all the adventures, like the adventures with Van Richten start that Van Richten is your friend. Mm-hmm. Maybe you made friends with him in a previous Van Richten adventure and something awful's happened.
It's the dumbest thing that they tried to say that it was like, oh, it's a Vistani curse, and that's why he fucks up so often.
His Vistani curse is horrifying.
Really?
Yeah, the book of Vistani, which is, not gonna lie, a little racist against Romani people, because the Vistani. Mm-hmm. But the actual story is pretty great. Van Richten lost his son because some Vistani kidnapped his son and gave him to a vampire, and then Van Richten went on a crusade and murdered the vampire and his son and freed them from the curse, and it ruined his life, and he went from being a doctor to being a monster hunter. Mm-hmm. And eventually he ran into, I want to say Aslan Rex. I think it was Aslan. And Aslan's like, you gotta not make that noise because of the recording.
Oh,
because we're still recording. Oh, we're still talking. I'm giving listeners context.
Yeah. This is very Ravenloft.
So Van Richten ran into Aslan, and I don't remember why, but Aslan said he'd give him a hand because Vistani stole something from Aslan. So he gave him a bunch of dead people. I think it might have been dead Vistani even, like Walking Dead, under his command. And Van Richten sent zombies in and killed them all.
Huh.
And Van Richten was like, he basically yelled out something in his rage about, curse you all, and he said something, and they were cursed. And he didn't know it at the time, but he totally cursed them. Like Ravenloft style, he cursed them to basically never be able to find rest in life, like he'd never be able to. Like he yelled out something in blind rage. You find out it was something along the lines of, "You'll never find rest just like me." And the zombies ripped them apart.
And inadvertently cursed himself at the same time.
No, because they had cursed him. To
curse war.
Well, when he had gone into the Vistani to get his son back and stuff, and like they laughed him off. They basically were like, "I curse you" and stuff, and the whole thing. Van Richten's curse was everyone he cares about dies.
Right.
The one single survivor of that Vistani caravan who was hiding under his mother's body underneath a bunch of wagon wheels and stuff Whenever he goes to sleep at night or tries to rest, the Walking Dead rise up around him and come and try to kill him. So he always has to be on the move. And Vanderton didn't know. So like 20 years later, when he's writing his book on the Vistanian, feeling kind of bad about the genocide, he meets up with this last survivor who's like covered in tattoos and like ritual symbols to keep the dead warded off of him. And they make amends and uncurse each other. Cool. It's a well done bit of fiction that I'm remembering. I don't know how good it is actually written, but it's in a book about magical Romani people called Vanderton's Guide to the Vistani. So, I don't know, take of that what you will. But yeah, Ravenloft and the Vistani do not get along. Then again, the Vistani don't get along with anyone. Because this is Ravenloft.
Except for Strahd.
Fucking Strahd. Anyway, I don't remember how we launched into that conversation.
Murder scene.
Murder scene. Vanderton books. Right. Right. Yeah. So, because you're talking about you say it's a curse. It is a curse. He is cursed until the end of his life when he stopped it.
If you only had the Chronicles of Darkness investigation rules here.
If only he had 20 levels of wizard, he could have just wished it away. And then turned Aslan into a pillar of salt.
One day. I use my throne spell.
So, you guys approach the merchant's cabin. The cabin is a single, kind of 3-4 room cabin off of a road over a bridge in the middle of the woods. There is a swinging bench tied up by chains, knocking against the wall, making an ominous thudding sound exactly like the opening to The Evil Dead.
I wish to explode.
I'm going to put a stop to that before we go inside. By getting like a wood log and just kind of propping it up slightly, because it's like I'm not fucking dealing with
You
that.
can just unchain it and put it down. It's not a lot of work.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take the chains with us. They could be handy.
Either way, I'm not dealing with that sound the entire time we're inside.
You enter the hunting lodge that they had rented out. It has stuffed animal heads lining the walls. There's a bear rug. There's trophies and like weapons. And paintings and stuff, old faded paintings covered in ash from like the furnace and whatnot. And yeah, there's a scuffle in the middle of the room. The middle of the room has been like tossed and turned. One of the animal heads has fallen down. It looks like there was a fight in here.
I guess let's examine whether some windows were broken or some doors were broken in.
All right.
Start doing some examining.
What are you looking for?
I'm checking out the scuffle, trying to see if there's any...
What are you looking at?
Is it only this one room?
No, there's multiple rooms in here.
Okay. I think we should all stay in the same room just in case the killer came back. I guess I'm going to look towards the more obvious signs, stuff that might be laying around on the floor or something that might have been used to subdue this guy.
All right. What is the roll for investigating murders?
Notice.
Notice? Okay, roll notice. There's a lot more variety in Chronicles of Darkness.
Success.
All right.
Success.
Okay. Peter, no signs of forced entry or broken windows.
Okay.
The struggle
Yeah, I'm trying to check if there's any unusual...
started here, did not end here.
Okay.
It went somewhere else in the room, in the building.
Can I tell where?
I'll get back to that.
Okay.
You're checking general stuff, Kevin? Like
Yeah.
what kind of stuff?
Anything that might be laying around that might have been used to try and subdue this guy, or something someone dropped in the scuffle.
Broken plates, spilled food. It looks like a statue, like a little like wooden kind of carving, has blood on it from a bludgeon, and that lines up with a wound you saw on the dead guy on his head. And there are signs of like dragging and scuffing towards a part of the floor in the main room, which kind of back to Phineas. It looks like the scuffle transitioned to the cellar under the cabin. There is a large, heavy wooden trapdoor just under like a knocked over rug.
Well, down we go.
Yeah, let's grab a lantern.
Yep.
All right, you guys head down into the basement. There are lanterns built into the wall of the earthen stone, like the earthen walls that have like support crisscrosses on them. The lanterns are low and are burning. The area down here has some beds, like it looks like in case people came to sleep over and the cabin itself is full. There are bookcases with notes and a desk, and this is a rather large cellar. Stuff has been tossed over, flipped. One of the lanterns was smashed, it looks like, and it's on the floor, and it's like the oil is still slowly burning on the earthen floor, soaking in, like the oil soaking in. And yeah, that's about it. It's big. This basement could hold probably 20 people.
So is this where the body was found, or?
Yes, you probably asked where the body was found. It was found in the basement.
Search for the chalk drawing of their body, so we'll know where it was.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna be looking for what they got drowned in. Or there's some bucket around here or something.
I want to. Yeah, let's also check like all of the grooves and indentations and see if anything that made it might have been more than human, or scratched in a way that a normal body wouldn't make.
Frostbite on the wood.
Roll for that. What are you checking out, Kevin?
Let's see. Just gonna look for any hiding spots in here where something might have been stashed away.
Roll for that.
Success.
Yep, got it with the wild die.
Perfect.
4. Okay, so I got a success.
Perfect. You find a false room in here. Like a wall that gives way to a false room.
Huh, shit.
The false room is super empty. Recently.
Of course they had no one guarding this place.
What were you looking for, Pete?
What they were drowned in, and yeah.
You find watermarks on the floor, like on the wood soaked in, like still there because it hasn't been that long and it's fairly cool down here, so it doesn't evaporate very quickly. But you don't see any signs of bucket or restraints that were used to like tie them up.
Okay.
And you were looking for supernatural signs, basically, right?
Yeah.
Roll occult. Yeah, sure.
Explodes. 7.
All right.
Success.
Going back upstairs and checking back down here, just to be sure, there are signs of sulfur at the windowsills and the door frames.
It's not a good sign.
So what is that something you do to keep things out, or is it some sign of something entering?
Phineas is well versed in the supernatural and occult kind of things in Barovia. Sulfur sign at the entrances to a residence is usually a sign of a possessing spirit entering.
Okay.
It's left when it crosses the threshold from the outside world into the domain of man.
Okay.
Signified as the windows and the doors. That's the sign that ghosts are about. The unquiet dead. Poltergeists.
So how do you protect yourself from those things?
You put it to rest. You keep religious stuff around. Salt.
Okay, so let's turn this salt mine inside out and just cover the whole place in salt.
Cover the world in salt. Put a suit of armor around it.
That would be nice. Let's go with the alternate initiative.
But that's what you three find.
Alright. Is there anything in this room? You said it's been emptied out, but is there any sign of things that might have been in here? Scrapes on the wall, or...
The floor shows signs that stuff was moved out of this room. Heavy stuff. There's like deep indents.
Huh. Well, it's definitely just not just a robbery.
I mean, if it's heavy and it's been moved out of here, presumably out of this house, so there'll probably be markings in fall from the house.
Yeah,
Unless
most
it's
likely.
somewhere in the house.
Or a cart.
Yeah.
So I guess let's check the rest of the house, make sure that it's landed somewhere there, and then we can look for some cart tracks.
Smart idea.
Yep.
When you guys head outside, there are cart tracks, and they lead back into Krezk proper.
I wonder if it was something suspicious enough that the township took it.
So I suppose there will be some guards around the entrances. What would there be?
I think we should just follow the tracks.
Yeah.
See where they lead.
Yeah. See which entrance they went through. Was anyone seen something weird? So we go back to Krezk.
Okay. When you guys head back to Krezk, the tracks diverge and head off to the mines. And there's another pair of tracks going into Krezk, but that's probably the body cart that took the body out.
Yeah, well, let's leave the mines for later.
So the merchant had something. It was taken away, taken into the mines or the little mining town next to it. So the question is, what did the merchant have in his possession that would interest someone?
Plenty of things. Papers, they're obviously doing something occult or whatever.
Something heavy.
Yeah. Could be any number of things. We're gonna have to go into the mine to check.
Sarcophagus.
And we're back.
So, I don't know, do you think they'd store a sarcophagus containing a serial murderer in here?
No.
No?
I think we're gonna have to go into the mines to check. There's no way around that.
Yeah, but was the mining town not wanting us there, and there was a problem getting into the mine because of all the merchants?
We've got in there before. We can get in there again.
I mean, yeah, but presumably they took it to the front gate, not the back gate.
Plenty of ways we can get in without being noticed.
Or could just be honest, we're investigating something that's related to the murder.
Or
Okay, the murder merchant.
what's the relationship between the Merchants Guild and the town owner?
Financial.
Financial, presumably it's supposed to be friendly, but or what? Not presumably. What's the word I'm looking for? Where you're like, presumably it's supposed to be friendly because they're bringing business in, but it's fairly antagonistic.
Right. So maybe we just go over their heads. We go to the
Fuck them.
we go to the town head and we indicate that we have reason to believe that this might be starting up again. It might be tied to the mines. We want his permission to go into the mines and investigate. If he says yes, the merchants can't very well say no.
The issue is, if we give them a heads up that we're going to be investigating this, they could easily just move whatever they had here again and cover up anything. Close down passages.
If we go fast enough, we can make that not an issue. Go to him, get his permission, then head right away with the written decree.
Yeah. I guess we could go. What's her name? Annika's daughter, granddaughter that's marrying into that family? Who's
Married.
that? Married, yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff you got to figure out.
Yeah, we've got an in. We're not unknown people.
Yeah.
We investigated this the last time too. I think it's better than skulking around in the darkness.
Yeah, let's get as much evidence as we can from the Church of the Morning Lord and whatnot, and see what we can do from there.
Let's. All right, you guys have left the Evil Dead cabin. All right, where's your next stop?
Church.
Yeah, the church.
Church of the Morning Lord. You guys get there. It is the same as it always is. Large columns, quiet, sparsely populated.
I guess we find someone decently high up and in the know. We know a few people here, so...
We've been here before.
Name one of them. Check your notes. Name one of them. I'll pause. All right, we're back. All right, so you didn't name anyone, but it's some chaplain.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yes, Charlie Chaplin, Kevin. We're right back into Creepy Rashomon Ream Buffet. All right, he's there. He's not going to say hello or whatever. He's just there, and you're there to talk to him.
Yeah. Well, we'd like some spiritual guidance.
Oh?
Yes.
Yes, it's been a troubling day.
Yes, and I mean, I don't. You probably know, but the last time there were these murders, we were tasked with investigating. And,
You were the investigator.
yeah, and brought some closure to that. So we
That's only been a
reprised
few
that role
summers,
for this as well. Yes, and I don't know. We're worried there may be a supernatural edge.
I wouldn't let superstition take hold of your rational mind.
No, and that's the kind of guidance we came here to get. I don't want to go off.
I do love that the Morning Lord priest is like, don't let superstitions cloud your judgment. Because in a world where gods are real, that's exactly what he'd be like.
We don't want to leap, head over heels into the realm of superstition, but regardless, we've encountered some disturbing things. And I thought, that you might be able to shed some...
People like to attribute the malices of man to one another to the supernatural because it's more comforting than looking into the face of what we can do to each other when we live godless and empty lives. It's a self-defense mechanism. It's easier to look at something frightening and inhuman than it is to look at just a fellow man that we could be at our darkest moment. I would not... It's something you have to be aware of if you're jumping to the supernatural.
I think the issue here is specifically the type of torture this person underwent was an exorcism.
I remember from the last time.
This one feels a bit more legit. There was a we'll show him the symbol.
Yeah.
I think you have it on you. There was this shoved down his throat, and it left actual burns.
There were blackbird down symbols, markings behind the eyes.
And his cabin had sulfur in the doorways and windows. So
as I said,
seems something entered.
We're trying to stay grounded, but it's shaking to be sure.
Welts on a tongue could easily be indicative of him. Like he takes the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, is it not possible that this person could have had an iron necklace, just like this one, heated up and left the scarring on it, and then left this in their throat?
Quite possible.
It was really far down there.
I mean, but the scarring was only on the tongue.
Yeah.
So yes.
That is true. Yeah.
And planting sulfur surely wouldn't take much time after the deed has been committed.
No.
And growths on the back of the eye, I've not seen a lot of eyes in my time. Perhaps it could have just been something that happens.
No. Because I'm a doctor, and that doesn't look like anything I've seen before.
But I've seen limits to your knowledge.
You went to Australian medical school.
The real medicine.
So, well, that's very comforting. Here you say. We just wanted to come and divest ourselves of this knowledge.
Though the symbol, the rosary you found is interesting.
Oh?
It's from the village of Barovia. We have a home faith there. A lot of our clergy, the older and the more severe members, the ones that have a harder disposition, end up going there, as it's a very difficult village to live in. Suspicion, they're very suspicious of outsiders. It's a very un-Barovian habit of theirs.
Yeah. Sounds quite far from nice, welcoming Krezk.
Exactly. But they go there and they tend well to the flock. But that rosary is from the orphanage. You can tell from the way the beads are set up.
Interesting.
Which orphanage is this? I'm guessing we only have one,
in the
actually.
village of Barovia.
We don't have that many children.
Dummy.
Do you know anyone who works there?
Yes. The chaplain who runs the place. And there's also a head nun.
Do they have a
She's
trouble?
the teacher. No, it's just the two of them.
So I guess if you want to investigate this further, we'd have to go to the village of Barovia.
No, to the orphanage that's here in town.
No, in the village of Barovia.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, would you want the orphanage?
That's why they were talking about how horrible it was there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your help. It's been very comforting.
I'm glad I could offer my assistance and guidance.
So you think it'd be kind of a big deal if one of those people from Barovia came here? Like someone would have noticed that.
I mean, merchants travel, and
If merchants travel, people who run orphanages don't really.
I mean, he could have gotten it from the orphanage. Maybe he grew up there, or some of his ancestors were from there, or something. Then again, I don't think they'd be giving out silver groceries to, orphans.
I mean, or it could still be someone within the order, and they're just not.
I mean, yeah, it's an old thing, so it might be a family heirloom.
Well, I guess this guy could be a fucking liar because we were told not to trust anyone.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't want to expose everything off the bat. That's why we wanted to just go in and sort of seed information about where we're at.
Okay. So, should we go to the mayor? Or whoever's running this place?
Well, let's check in with Priscilla, see what she found. And then,
Okay.
I think go to the mayor, see if we can obtain a writ to investigate the mine.
Okay.
All right. You guys are going to go and talk to someone you haven't talked to yet, the leader of the town, who's totally a part of this huge conspiracy in a different way. I think that is the good part to end it off for the night.
Okay.
All right, so that was us. I was Devin,
Tyler?
Kevin?
And Peter.
and this is sponsored by Nobody. Signing off.